Hello everybody, it's Mark Margerson here, once again coming to you live from London, along with...
Keith, coming to you from Tokyo. Well, just outside Tokyo.
Just outside, yeah. And hope you're ready for another game of Lights, Camera, Quiz.
How's it going, Mark?
Very good, thank you. Been enjoying this lovely weather, sitting outside, having some Pims, double tapping some Insta-Gs, you know.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I saw, not too bad. I saw the first one back after, like, because obviously we were filming it. I couldn't actually see how it was gonna look. I didn't realize I was gonna be like on screen the whole time. I thought like it was gonna mostly be you, and then I would just be there sometimes when answering. So so apologies.
Of course we were going to have you on screen most of the time.
Well,
that beautiful face that only a mother could love.
Picking my nose and pulling my beard and sitting in funny positions because Japan, I'm sitting on the floor of one of those legless chairs. Yeah, like one of those legless chairs, if you get what I mean.
What?
Yeah, have you seen
I know what you mean
abroad?
because when I was there.
Yeah, everything in my
I just assumed you were sitting on a chair like I was.
No, I'm sitting on the floor right now.
But just because you're in Japan, it's not like when in Rome, is it? You don't have to sit on the floor.
I guess,
or have you got used to it?
But not only that, everything's really small. Having furniture in my apartment would be a pain in the ass. So
sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Wow, like an animal.
Yeah. Well, like I say, how many animals do you know that can make an intro for this show?
Just the one.
Yeah, well, you're looking nice. I noticed you got a haircut.
I did,
nice.
Thank you. Finally, someone's noticed. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been out, so...
Is that due to the comments I made previously about saying you look like a homeless caveman?
A little bit. I'm not going to lie. Cut me deep.
I mean,
so yeah.
I mean, because you know, if I hurt your feelings, you know, I'm really happy about that. So anyway.
Well, I keep this because you look like a child if I shave. You know that, Keith. So that I always have to have a little bit of stubble because when I take this off, I could literally be the star of my own Disney show. I look like a child, and clearly I'm in my 30s. So
that's super interesting. How about we start the quiz?
Let's start the quiz, yeah. Rather than going on about how young we both look. Okay, so the first round, as usual, is General Trivia. Okay, here we go for General Trivia. But while that little intro clip was playing, I just sort of a comeback to your comment, Keith, about my hair. Hey, Keith, have you had a haircut as well?
Oh dear, witty. You're terrible at comebacks.
Yeah, you're terrible at comebacks.
You got me.
Thought I'd throw in a bit of irony there, you know. Anyway, so, General Trivia. So as it's nice and sunny, I thought we'd do some general trivia questions about films that have the word sun in the title. Sun as in the star, not sun as in offspring. So, are you ready, Keith?
Yeah, sure. An amazing topic. I mean, how British could you get? The general quiz, general trivia part of the quiz is about the weather. Or the sun, rather. Anyway, sorry.
It is because it's glorious here.
Alright, that's okay.
You see.
What's question one, Mark?
Okay, so I'm going to describe a film. You have to tell me which one it is with the word sun in it. So, which 1950 film stars Gloria Swanson? Was it The Sun Also Rises or Sunset Boulevard?
1950s, Jesus Christ! Straight
Gloria
with a hard one there.
Swanson. Right? Yeah, Gloria Swanson one. Sunset Boulevard or The Sun Also Rises. Which 2003 film did Bruce Willis play an Army Special Ops commander? Was it Empire of the Sun or Tears of the Sun? Oh.
I think I got that one. It took me a second, I think I got it.
Oh, it's made you think. Me explaining how quizzes work.
Someone asks a question, someone else tries to answer it.
Which Danny Boyle film, starring Cillian Murphy, was in 2007? Was it Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or Sunshine?
It's a rather easy one for me.
Oh.
I'll explain why after.
Is it Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or of a Spotless Mind? It's of the Spotless Mind, isn't it? Yeah.
I think.
That could have been a question in itself. No points for that if you ever say that. Okay. On the subject of the sun, in Star Wars, Luke's home planet of Tatooine has how many suns? You look like you know that straight away.
Of course I know that, yeah.
Yeah, how many suns does Luke's home planet have in Star Wars? And speaking of Harrison Ford, which we weren't, Harrison Ford plays Deckard in which film? Rick Deckard. Wow. Okay. Here we go. Let's crank it up a notch then.
See, you had me worrying when you started off with that one about a 50s movie, but I'm feeling confident now.
In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill? In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
I got it.
Okay, and now we have a special guest. Yes, so my nephew really enjoyed watching the show, and he's only 6, so keep the language clean, Keith. And he really wanted a question, and he has a question. Okay, you haven't heard it, Keith, but we've got him with us now, I think. Here we go to him. Ah, there we go. Hello, Toby.
Hello.
Hi, Toby.
Hello.
So, how old are you, Toby?
I'm 6.
So, Toby, you have a question for us, right?
Yes.
Go.
So Kevin was lost in Home Alone 2. He was lost in New York. And what city was he in Home Alone 1?
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, so because in the first one...
I feel like this should be easy, but it's not.
Well, but the second one is in New York.
I'm drawn to New York.
Yeah.
But that's because... But the second one
it says basically
lost,
in the first one he's at home, so where does he live? Which city?
Right?
Yes.
I think I know the answer to this.
But
in fact, I'm almost certain I do. Okay, but are you going to stay with us, Toby? Because we're going to come back to you in a second when we give the answers.
Yes.
So, we started off a little bit hard with this one, didn't we, Keith? But let's see how you got on.
Yeah.
So, which movie...
1950s film, not my forte.
1950 film starring Gloria Swanson. Was it Sunset Boulevard or The Sun Also Rises?
I'm gonna say Sunset Boulevard because I have never heard of the other one.
You would be right. It is Sunset Boulevard.
Right, okay.
Well done.
1950s. Nobody watches 1950s movies anymore.
Most of my movies I watch are 1950s movies.
No, I'm only joking.
Which 2003 movie does Bruce Willis appear in as an army commander? Empire of the Sun or Tears of the Sun?
So I was a little bit like, because I know they're both movies and they have war stuff, but I can remember. I'm like 90% sure it's Tears of the Sun.
It is Tears of the Sun.
Yeah,
yes, Empire of the Sun was the 80s one with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that in the cinema, and I was rather shocked. That was one of those movies that, you know, when you see something really horrific in a movie, it sticks with you.
Yeah. Danny Boyle film starring Cillian Murphy in 2007 was...
Oh, Sunshine.
Sunshine. It was. Of course, it wasn't Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
The main reason why I was immediately super sure of that one is because the soundtrack from that is amazing. That has one of my favorite songs ever made for a film ever. John Murphy's Adagio in G.
No, don't know it.
It kind of got eclipsed by Time by
Got
Hans
eclipsed.
Zimmer later on.
See what you did there?
Oh, yeah. I definitely did that on purpose. But yeah, it's an amazing song. Look it up. If you don't know the song, look it up.
I will
song
definitely
played
look
at my
it up.
funeral.
I will do what? Play at your funeral.
Well, I want that song played at my funeral.
Okay, thank you. Next one is, in Star Wars, Luke's planet of Tatooine has how many suns?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
It has two suns.
It does have
And
two.
I'll come straight back at you. How many moons does it have?
3.
Lucky guess.
Is it? Okay. And Harrison Ford, because he was in Star Wars as well, plays Deckard in which film?
So obviously this is Blade Runner, right? You haven't like tricked me with
No,
a trick.
it is Blade Runner.
Okay.
The correct answer is Blade Runner. Well done. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
So the only way I can ever remember this is because when Cypher later on says, why didn't I take the blue pill? Meaning they took the red pill.
Okay, yeah. Yes, the answer was the red pill. So another point for that. And now we go to the young, handsome Toby for the answer. Toby, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. So just remind everyone your question.
So Kevin was lost in New York in Home Alone 2. What city was he in Home Alone 1?
Okay. Now, I think I know the answer to this. Keith, do you?
I don't know, but I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say Maine. Because I feel like it's going to be somewhere still
Maine?
kind of close to New York. Well, Stephen King lives there. I know its name. I know roughly where it is on the map.
I'm assuming that's wrong. Yeah, but I think it's Chicago.
That's you and me.
Yes.
Woo! USA, USA. Yes, it's Chicago.
That is cheating.
And also,
It's
he
family.
has the pizza delivered to him, doesn't he? And Chicago is obviously quite famous for their pizzas.
Yeah,
So-
but you can get Chicago pizza outside of Chicago.
Well, okay, thank you, Toby, for that. And now that brings us round two.
Is it actually that? Yeah.
Yes, and this one is called Tinseltown Twins. Tinseltown Twins. Okay, so this round is all about something that you and I have spoken about quite a lot, Keith.
Yeah,
And that
we've
is-
talked about this a fair bit. I've had
Is
big
that how a lot of films have almost like an identical, well, like a replica of it that comes out at the same time. So the ones that you and I often discuss is Armageddon in 1997 and Deep Impact in 1997. Literally the same film.
So they're basically the same. Yeah,
Yep.
same film, same time.
And Dante's Peak in 1997 and Volcano. Exactly the same plot. And also the one that you've mentioned a few times is Ants and A Bug's Life, which were 1998.
Well, it's not just those two films. It's not just those two films. It's those two studios. So I guess I was more interested in this because at the time as well I was studying animation, so I was like keeping track of all this stuff. But for a while they were like going head to head with every movie, where both studios were bringing out like another movie that was like basically the same thing or very similar concept. Either the same year or they would just miss each other slightly by 1 year. So like Pixar had Toy Story, DreamWorks had
Small Soldiers,
Small
yes,
Soldiers. Yeah, then there was Bugs
Yep.
Life versus Ants. And then there was Monsters. So this one is not so obvious, but Monsters Inc. and Shrek, which are both basically the
True,
main
yeah,
characters
yeah.
of Monster.
But like even more recently, there's
and
the
then-
one Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached, which is basically again exactly the same plot, and that was 2011. Like they came out within months
which
of each
were
other.
also made by Pixar and DreamWorks.
Anyway, so this is basically a picture, Aim. It's like
You didn't let me finish my list. Very quickly, Finding Nemo, Shark's Tale, Ratatouille, Flushed Away.
yes, yeah, good point.
And this is just two studios.
So
anyway, I'm
where this is
run
going
on.
is, because it's a quiz, is I'm going to show you a picture and it's like name the frame, okay? So the first one, which we'll have up in a second, is from a 2006 film. about a magician. Now, is this from The Prestige or its twin, The Illusionist? Can you see them, Keith? And now we have a second image here. Can you see that? Now, this is from the 1989 family film about a police officer who has a dog as a partner. But is it Turner and Hooch or its twin, K9? Okay, so the next one. Another image which will come up on your screen shortly. This was a 2013 film, action film, about how there's an attack on the President of America and his heroic bodyguards have to save him. Now, is this picture from White House Down or Olympus Has Fallen? And the next one, which is a slightly easier one, is another image on the screen now. This is a 2018 horror film, but is it Bird Box or A Quiet Place? And the last one from a 2011 film, here's the picture on the screen. Is this from the movie Skyline or Battle Los Angeles?
All right.
Okay, so now it's time for the answers. So, the answers. How do you think you got on with that one then, Keith?
Reasonably well. I think I did. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, okay.
I think I did alright. I think I did alright.
Chill out, Big Dick. Listen to the answer. I just thought of another one. Deep Blue Sea and Lake Placid.
Yeah.
Same year. Pretty much the same film, 1999. Okay, so the picture we had for the first one was from a 2006 film about a magician. Is it The Prestige or its twin, The Illusionist?
I'm going to go with Prestige because I've watched that movie multiple times.
It was The Prestige, yes. Yeah. Yeah, very good film, yeah. Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah, great.
Underrated, I think, actually. Yeah.
Director and a fantastic film.
So, yes, that was The Prestige. The second one was the 1989 film about the police officer whose partner is a dog. Now, was this frame from Turner and Hooch or K9?
Couldn't you have included the dog? I would have got it then.
No, because they're different types of dogs, aren't they? Different breeds,
Yeah,
so that would have given it away.
Because I know that Turner and Hooch is the slobbery one, and K9 is the German Shepherd.
Yes. And what was his name? Jerry Lee.
Was it?
Yeah. Because Turner and Hooch obviously gives... His name wasn't K9.
I thought it was literally K9. Bear in mind, it's been like 30 years since I saw that movie. Or less than
So,
that.
what did you think it was?
Turner and Hooch?
No, it was K9. Unfortunately.
Yeah, rigged.
Sorry.
Rigged.
Sorry about that. The next one. This 2013 film about the president being under attack. Was it White House Down or Olympus Has Fallen?
Well, I think I would recognise any part of Gerard Butler. so I'm going to go with Olympus Has Fallen.
It was Olympus Has Fallen.
And by the way,
have you seen the sequel?
I don't really know
London Has Fallen.
Yeah, I also liked that one, even though everyone hated it. It was alright.
I did. Yeah, everyone hated it, but we loved it.
Yeah.
So, the next one is from the 2018 horror film. Is this Bird Box or A Quiet Place? Ding.
That one, I'm pretty sure it's Bird Box.
It was Bird Box.
Yeah. Isn't?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
No,
I was going to say they're not identical films.
By the way, anyone watching, this is the problem when you're doing stuff like internet-wise, the lag thing and stuff.
Yes, this is the thing. They're not identical films, but they're very similar. They're about a sense, aren't they, that you can't use. So obviously, Bird Box this, that was this.
Yeah. So
maybe someone's going to have one where they can't talk. I don't know.
I was coming to was the fact that like it really became a thing, and wasn't there like other movies that they were like I'm sure I heard another one where there was like it was another sense. So it wasn't sight or, it wasn't like
touch.
making a noise. I don't know. Was it maybe you can't smell anything? You have to navigate through the world. You have to navigate through the world without smelling anything.
Although the body has a lot more of the senses than people think. It has about 20 senses.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of smell, you know, After Earth. This is
Which we weren't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about After Earth, which we weren't. The whole thing. So in that one, there was the whole thing. Like, have you seen it? It was the thing with the aliens.
Yeah.
They hunt people by smelling their fear. I could totally destroy that whole movie in 2 words. Or the premise of that movie: hazmat suit. Because then it doesn't matter.
How has that destroyed it?
Well, because the whole thing is the main characters have to train for like years and years until they literally feel no fear, and then they become invisible to the aliens. If you're wearing a hazmat suit, those things are airtight. You can't smell what somebody smells like inside it. So,
here's one that keeps me awake at night. What is "do not touch" in Braille?
yeah.
Okay, so the last one was this picture. Is that from Skyline or Battle Los Angeles?
So I'm gonna go with Skyline. Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Yes,
those
correct.
Movies, obviously, it's the same thing as we were talking about Tinseltown Twins. But the funny thing is, the guy who made that film, I think he was director and producer, he was originally slated to be a VFX editor for Battle Los Angeles. And so he was already basically working on that movie, and because he was a VFX guy, he was like, I reckon I can get this, I can make this, I can get it done even faster than they can. And so he left, and he straight up stole their idea and was like, I'm gonna make my own movie, and I'm gonna try and beat them to the cinemas with it. So, bit sneaky. Can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah. One of the Strauss brothers. I can't remember which one. There's Colin, and I can't remember the other one's name. Yeah. Okay, so hope you all did well on that one. Keith, you did. So that brings us to our next round, which is called. You did get the Turner and Hooch wrong, but that brings us round to round 3, which is which is which. Which is which? This one, I'm going to name an actress, and you just have to tell me which film about witches they were in. Okay.
2 witches, and I have to choose which
so,
which is which.
No, it's not which is which.
Mark. Doesn't work.
So I thought it was clever. I actually thought of the name before I thought of the questions.
Yeah.
I thought which is which, and then I was like, that's brilliant. I literally was up all night laughing about that. So then I had to think of questions to do with it. Okay, so the first one is, which movie did Angelica Houston play a witch? Angelica Houston. Hint, it's not Addams Family.
Oh.
If that's what you were thinking. She looks like a witch in that, but she's not.
Wait, she's not a witch. Yeah, she's not a witch. She's just a weird lady.
Yeah, Morticia Addams, isn't it? But she's not. So, which film did Angelica Houston play a witch? Number 2, Michelle Pfeiffer. In which movie about witches is she in?
I think I maybe know this.
Now...
Because it was filmed right near my old flat, where I was living when we first met.
Okay, so this is what I was going to say. Technically, there's 2.
Right, so you're just choosing the one that You're...
Should I say which one you're thinking of? Because I know which one you're thinking of. Because that's not the one...
So that's not the correct answer in this one?
No. The one you're thinking of is Stardust, is that right?
Yeah. Because that was filmed on Elm Hill. Okay. And I used to live on Wagon of Horses Lane.
Yes.
Very quaint name.
Yes. But it's not that one. It's another Michelle Pfeiffer film.
Yeah. Another one.
Okay. So... This one. Sandra Bullock. Any ideas? Was this filmed somewhere where you used to live?
Yeah, because that's how I answer all. It's like the Slumdog Millionaire. It's like all the answers are going to be related to it.
It's all something to do with... Right. Okay, so Sandra Bullock. The other one, Neve Campbell.
I know this one.
What's happened to her lately?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she was big in the 90s, wasn't she? Scream franchise, Wild Things, which was incredible, and this film.
Dirty bastard.
But yeah, she hasn't done much lately. Probably working in a call centre. Okay, so the next one, Angela Lansbury.
Oh.
If you can't remember who she is the one who is famously in Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, that was just that. So
Jessica Fletcher.
Was not knowing the movie. It was remembering.
She's definitely not a witch in Murder, She Wrote. I mean,
Are you sure?
Yeah, acts a bit like one. Yeah, but. Yeah.
By the way, if Mark's mom is watching, I apologise for that. It's a thing. It's a thing I do. It's a thing I do with everybody I know.
Okay, so it was Angelica Houston, not the Addams Family. Michelle Pfeiffer, not Stardust. Sandra Bullock, Neve Campbell, and Angela Lansbury. Which movies were they in about witches? Let's go to the answers. Okay, so now it's time for the answers for which witch is which. So, how do you think you did in this one, Keith?
I think I was getting a little confident, a little too confident, a little cocky early on. And this round has brought me back down to earth, Mark. That was way tempted trying to speak.
Here we go.
Because I watched a lot of sports and.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Do you?
I watch no sports at all. I don't know.
I was going to say, yeah. I don't. I have no idea about sports. Okay, so the answers for this one. Number one, Angelica Houston.
Yeah, so Morticia Addams, lady. No,
not Morticia Addams. Yeah.
That's
no. Yeah.
For.
Okay, no, it was Witches.
Wait, the name of the movie is just Witches.
That's it. I would have thought that you could have just taken a stab at that one and got that one right. But yes, it was the film The Witches.
Oh, wait. I think I saw a trailer for that.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I sometimes like to watch like trailers for really crappy movies. I'm assuming it was crappy. It looked crappy.
As do I.
Is that the one that looked like it was a cross between Harry Potter and Stuart Little? Even though
actually, yes,
those movies, but maybe it inspired
it predated him, so obviously it wasn't, but potentially, yes, yeah. So that was yes, The Witches. The next is Michelle Pfeiffer, not Stardust. Do you know? The answer was The Witches of Eastwick.
Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah, with Cher, Susan Sarandon, Jack Nicholson. So, yes, the Witches of Eastwick. The next one, Sandra Bullock. Any ideas?
Does pointing out that this is the second time she features in this quiz get me like a half point? Okay,
definitely not.
And 0 points for that one.
If I had it my way, all the questions would be about Sandra Bullock, but right. I don't think we'd get as many viewers. The answer was Practical Magic.
Practical Magic.
Yes, when she plays a witch alongside Nicole Kidman. So, Neve Campbell.
So, I'm sure I know this one. So I can picture it. I'm
actually just thinking,
I had a bit of a crush on like the whole cast of that movie.
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone in it was good looking, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15.
And I've just realised as well, what's his name? Skeet Ulrich, or whatever his name is, who plays Billy in Scream, is also in this movie. Again, what's he doing nowadays?
The Craft.
The Craft!
The Craft.
Is the correct answer.
With,
yes.
Robin Tunney?
Yes.
So that was the one I had the hots for most.
Yeah. And the last one, the fantastic Angela Lansbury played a witch in which film?
Murder, She Witched.
No, it was not. It was Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
You know, I've never seen that one. Have I missed out on like a childhood classic there or something?
I don't think it's aged very well.
No?
No, I don't think so. I mean, check it out.
Does she solve murders in that one too?
No, she does not. No.
Oh, well,
one of the greatest things I've ever seen was because I used to love Murder, She Wrote. I say used to, I still do.
Yeah, so did I. And I used to watch it when I was like 6 years old.
Well, can you remember?
Which, thinking back, I don't understand why I would have liked it at that age.
No, I know. I mean, I liked a lot of weird stuff when I was a kid, like TV-wise, but I really enjoyed Murder, She Wrote. I think it was the theme tune that really did it for me. And can you remember Magnum P.I.?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I used to love watching that as well. And there was a crossover episode. I think this may have been the first time there was ever a crossover in a TV series. Because now it's quite common, they do little crossovers. And I remember, like, Angela Lansbury goes on holiday. And she goes down and there's a murder happens. And Magnum P.I. is the, like, private investigator who's doing it. And they join forces and solve it together. Now, the only problem is I can never remember whether that was an episode of Magnum P.I. that she was in, or it's an episode of Murder, She Wrote that he was in.
What would have been really cool is if they actually split it up over the two.
And then the A-team come along.
So, so they meet in the episode of, like, Murder, She Wrote, but it doesn't conclude, and then it concludes in an episode of Magnum P.I. That's how they should have done it. That's how they should have done it.
Yes, that would have been phenomenal. Okay. So, that was Angela Lansbury. Well done if you got all of those right. Sucks to be you if you didn't, but never mind. Now, this brings us straight round. Yeah, this brings us straight round to the next round, which is tough guys who usually do action movies, but sometimes do comedies, but then usually go back to doing action movies.
Sorry, that cannot be the title.
Well, it is. This one is called Tough Guys Who Usually Do Action Movies, but sometimes do comedies, but then you should go back to doing action movies.
Man. Sorry, could you do that again? Say that again. Is this going to be the same every time? Or are you winging it and this is the title's going to change slightly every time?
That's the title of it,
Say it again.
Well, I figured out the questions and then I thought it needs a title
that
sort of says exactly what it is on the tin, because I think I dropped it a little bit with the which is which. So this one is simply just called Tough Guys Who Usually Do Action Movies, but sometimes do comedies, but then usually go back to doing action movies. So, yes. So, the first question of Tough Guys Who Usually Do Action Movies, but then sometimes do comedies, but then you should go back to doing action movies is, in 1994, Arnold Schwarzenegger starred in a movie with Emma Thompson where he becomes pregnant. Which movie?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
We'll do good in this round.
Okay, so Sylvester Stallone starred in a 1992 comedy where he plays a police officer and his mum helps him in the fight against crime.
Yeah, sure I do. I think I'm going to be pretty good in this round.
That's a great one.
Tough Guys. What was this called? Tough Guys.
Well, it's Tough Guys Who Usually Do Action Movies, but then sometimes do comedies, but then you should go back to doing action movies again. So, but the thing is, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, people that did a few.
Vin Diesel.
So there's a few, but I think Sylvester Stallone really has only done this one. Yeah, but it's a great film. 1992, where him and his mother team up to fight crime. Okay. Number 3 is Bruce Willis plays a plastic surgeon in this 1992 comedy starring Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
Actually, it's weird thinking he used to be a comedian.
He did. He started off. Yeah, he started off doing comedy. Yeah, it was like moonlighting and stuff. And in fact, can you remember he did like Blind Date? That was actually very funny. Hudson Hawk. He did a few, and he almost didn't get the part in Die Hard, didn't he? Because they said he's a comedian. He's not an action hero. Yeah. So yes, 1992 film, also starring Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. Name that film. And the last question of Tough Guys Who Usually... I'm not going to say it again.
No, go on.
Jason Statham plays an undercut... So this is the last question of Tough Guys Who Usually Do Action Movies, but sometimes do comedies, but then you should go back to doing action movies.
I'll give you points for consistency.
So, Jason Statham, my buddy Jason Statham, plays an undercover agent in the 2015 film alongside Melissa McCarthy and Jude Law.
Oh, yeah, I know that, because that's a great
It is. It's the director also did.
And Jason Statham was great.
Yes, and the director also did The Heat with Sandra Bullock, which is an incredibly funny film. Okay, so now it's time for the answers. Okay, so now it's time for the answers to tough guys who usually do action movies, but sometimes do comedies and then go back to action movies. So, the 1994 film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Emma Thompson when he becomes pregnant was... Junior, correct. That's right, it was Junior. Because obviously he did a lot of things like twins and everything, Kindergarten Cop, but...
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop, yeah. Here's a random question for you. What movie in Arnold Schwarzenegger's career did he earn the most money from?
Terminator 2.
It's gotta be Terminator 2, hasn't it? No, the answer is Twins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the studio at the time was like, there's no way anybody's ever going to buy you in a comedy. So they all did the film for free, and they just wanted percentages of the profits. And then the movie went on to make shitloads of money, and Hollywood was like, we are never doing that kind of deal with anyone ever again. But yeah, he made more money from that movie than any other movie. Anyway.
Yes, the answer is Junior. Also, when we mentioned Kindergarten Cop, did you know they did a sequel to Kindergarten Cop?
What?
Starring
Who is the cop?
Dolph Lundgren.
No way.
Look it up.
However, I know
nowhere near as good as the first one. But anyway, and also, because I love Kindergarten Cop, it's shot in a quiet little sort of seaside town called Astoria. Which other movie was set in Astoria?
I don't know.
The Goonies. Same place.
We should move on.
We should move on. So, Sylvester Stallone starred in this 1992 film where him and his mother joined forces to fight crime.
It's got to be Stop or My Mum Will Shoot.
Stop or My Mum Will Shoot.
Which, by the way, so you were saying that was like a great film. So, what's his face? Sly Stallone says he straight up regrets making that movie. And then the funny thing
is,
did you know?
It's brilliant.
Oh, he said he hates it. But so the funny thing is, he was basically punked into accepting that movie by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I have heard stories about this because isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Arnie turned it down and joked to Sylvester Stallone and said, "You should definitely do it."
No, it wasn't that because that would be too obvious.
Right.
So Sly still didn't want it, but then Arnie said, "Actually, no, I think I am going to take it." So then Sly was like, "All right, give me that film." And then Arnie was just laughing very hard to himself, puffing away on a cigar.
Yeah.
Mind you, that said, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, I would say it's better than Junior.
I agree. And it also, his mum is played by Estelle Getty, who was in the Golden Girls, famously. So, yeah, very good film.
It's amazing how much Junior failed. Like,
considering,
Arnie, DeVito, Ivan Reitman, and it's like from twins to.
Anyway, so the third one was Bruce Willis plays a plastic surgeon in this 1992 film starring Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. The film was...
I don't know this one.
Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Death Becomes Her, yeah. It's actually very funny. It's very funny. Meryl Streep as well is very good at comedy. You know, like when she's got a hole in her and like heads turn all the way around and that sort of thing. Right. It is very good. Yeah.
I just remember hearing that when I was a kid.
Okay, so the final question for tough guys who usually do action movies, but sometimes do comedies, but then usually go back to doing action movies. Jason Statham plays an undercover agent in this 2015 film.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah. Actually, so I know the movie. I can picture it. I'm not sure of the name. Is the name just Spy?
It is just Spy.
Just Spy. Okay.
Spy.
Like witches. Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredibly funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a brilliant movie, but and he was really funny as well. His character. But it's funny. I had in a previous job, I had this boss. He's one of those bosses who's like one of the best bosses, nicest bosses you've ever had. All the people that were working for him really loved him. But the funny thing is, so his wife used to date Jason Statham. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but if my wife's ex-boyfriend was Jason Statham, I would feel
little bit intimidated. Yeah,
I would feel insecure about this, and I feel like everybody else in the team also kind of thought like this. So anytime we had an unwritten rule, anytime anybody ever mentioned Jason Statham and our boss was there, we would all immediately start slagging off Jason Statham. Going, oh, he's rubbish. It's the same in every movie.
Is he that tough?
He's putting that on. He's
probably not.
That's not his real accent.
What a wuss.
He's just making himself sound cool for the camera.
Jason, if you are watching this, That's not my opinion. I love you. I think you're gorgeous.
I didn't really think that either.
So that brings us all the way around to our final round, which is acronyms. Okay, so this one is all about movie titles that have acronyms in them, or initialisms in some cases. So this is a fairly easy one, Keith. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films.
All right.
Okay, with an acronym. You just have to tell me what the acronym stands for. Okay, so the first one is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And the word uncle is the acronym in that, by the way.
Oh, I was hoping it was man.
So, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. What's uncle?
Bob.
Short for?
Bob's your uncle.
So, oh God. Okay, the next one is the horror film Chud. C-H-U-D. Great film.
Is it about chewing gum?
No, it's definitely not about chewing gum.
Right, okay.
A horror film about chewing gum.
You never know. People choking on it.
Okay,
Cursed chewing gum.
so although in the Steve McQueen film The Blob, it looks very much like bubblegum or something, doesn't it?
Good. The sequel.
Maybe that's where they, yeah. So, the next one is from the fantastic family sci-fi film Daryl. D-A-R-Y-L.
I'm sensing a 0 on this round.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, Daryl. And in the same kind of vein, the next one is Mac and Me, if you remember that.
yeah.
Not a great film, but that's like an E.T. rip-off. I've just found another twin one. It came out slightly after it, but it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
About a little boy who has the alien that comes to Earth and they befriend each other. Did you know they redid the ending of that film? Because at the end, the army just shoot the little kid. That's not funny. And what makes it worse is he's in a wheelchair and they just gun him down. But they had to change the ending.
They should have kept that.
I think you can still get it on YouTube. But it's not even funny. But anyway, so Mac and Me. Okay, and the last one from the acronyms round is the Ethan Hawke film Gattaca. Now that's a bit of a tough one.
That was an acronym?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the
Well, I guess
initials of
it's
something.
It's in this round.
Yeah. Yeah. There's trust the quizmaster. It is the initials of something.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Okay, so let's go straight into the answers. Okay, so now it's time for the thorny issue of the answers. Oh, how did I not use that for which is which? Because that's a quote for it. Doesn't matter. I'm a film with which is in. Okay, so number one, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. What does U.N.C.L.E. stand for? Do you know?
I have no idea. Ugly nannies can lick eggs. Am I close?
Not even remotely. It is United Network Command for Law Enforcement.
That makes more sense.
Yes, United Network Command for Law Enforcement. The fantastic horror film Chud. C-H-U-D.
Is it really fantastic? You keep saying fantastic.
It is fantastic. It really is. Have we got a picture of it there we can get up? Yes, there we go. Look. It's really good.
Looks amazing.
It's a little bit of a B movie, but you know, B movies are my bag, aren't they? Okay, so from the 1984 film Chud is an acronym for?
No idea.
The answer is Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller.
So definitely not about chewing gum.
100% not about chewing gum. Nothing even remotely about chewing gum. Have they ever made a movie about chewing gum?
What's the one with the flubber and stuff?
Flubber, yes, good point. Okay, so the next one is... Hang on. Okay, so the next one is the 1985 film starring the kid whose name escapes me, who's in like the Neverending Story, etc., and Cocoon. Daryl.
That's his name?
That's the acronym of the title of the film. What does Daryl stand for? Truth and justice. No, what does it stand for?
No idea. No.
The answer is data analyzing robot youth life form.
Jesus Christ. Like, they clearly just had the name and they were struggling to come up with that acronym.
Okay, so the next one is Mac and Me.
MAC. Meager attempt to copy the movie E.T.
No, it was not. The answer is simply...
Well, it was.
Well, because the acronym, by the way, is the Mac part, not the Me part. The answer is mysterious alien creature.
Makes sense.
Remember, he has that weird face, and he looks like Pob. Can you remember Pob?
He's one
The kid.
ugly son of a bitch.
And yes, so it's a mysterious alien creature. And me. And the final one of this round is Gattaca.
No idea. Interest in this one. What is it?
Okay, so basically this is a bit of a scientific one. So the film is about DNA, etc. And anyone who knows anything about DNA is made up of prime bases.
Stuff. It's made up of D's, N's, A's.
No, and it's not
Actually,
D and A.
wait,
As I've actually heard someone say once.
Deoxynucleic
Deoxyribonucleic acid, yes. But the bases are guanine, adenine, thymine, and cytosine. So if you ever see anything, pardon me, that has like DNA codes on it, like in Jurassic Park or anything like that, it's always made up of G, C, A, and T. So basically, Gattaca would be, the title would be guanine, adenine, thymine, adenine, cytosine, adenine. But it is technically an acronym.
Yeah. Do you know that when they... so they had a bit of a strange marketing thing for that movie, as they do a lot of... You know, in Hollywood, they sometimes like take out pages in a newspaper or magazine. I don't know. It seems... I always hear about these kind of things.
Mm.
But anyway, in the marketing campaign for that, they kind of created like a fake advert or something with a number where they were like inviting people to get their children genetically engineered, and apparently like thousands of people actually rang up and they were like, yeah, I want to genetically engineer my child.
Wow.
Scary.
And if they'd have just made that number a premium rate number,
oh yeah,
could have funded half the film.
In it. Yeah.
There you go. That's an idea.
Can we do that?
We probably shouldn't have said that live, should we? Because now other people are going to steal our ideas.
Can we add Steve, can we edit this?
Steve, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Please tell me there's a lag. You can cut that on live TV. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of the anagrams round, and sadly the end of the quiz. Hope you all enjoyed yourself. Any final words from you, Keith?
How about the only certainty is uncertainty.
And on that philosophical note there, we come to an end. Hope you all had fun, and we hope to see you next week for another game of Lights, Camera, Quiz.